What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Neeks Sports. Yes, yesterday was a very, very, very good day for Manchester United, beating their arch enemies, our rivals, Leeds United, battering them. Let's be honest, battering them 6-2. It could have been more. It could easily have been 10-5, maybe 10-4. The game was end to end. Leeds played right into our hands. Solskjaer was questioned about his tactics before the game, the players that he was going to play, the formation, this, that, whatever. Every single player did what they had to do. I'm not going to nitpick at certain things that could have gone better defensively, but overall, as a team, everyone did their job. And I couldn't be proud of those guys. I mean, last time I did my match review on this channel, we played Leipzig. We just got knocked out to Leipzig in a very, very poor performance away from home. We lost 3-2. Yeah, we had some chances to get, to go through and get more goals. But overall, we did not deserve to win that game, and we got knocked out of the Champions League into the Europa League. Since then, we've drawn with Man City, which I said at the time was for me was a good result. A draw with Man City. I know Man City are not on the best of form, but Man City are still a good side. They can't be discounted. They can't be just dismissed. And to be fair, defensively, they've been all right this season. Going forward, they're not the same, but they've been all right defensively. So I think it will be a bit over the top or a bit arrogant to say we should be beating Man City, because they were, they just won in the Champions League. We didn't. So they come into the game on a bit of a higher level than us. They actually rested all their players for the Champions League because they were much further ahead. They'd already qualified through the group. We're having to play our best team in both games. And on the back of a defeat, it was never going to be an easy game. That for me, that was always a game that we could not lose. Could not lose. Getting the draw was actually more important than getting the win. As in the sense of not losing that game was more important than trying to go and get the 3 points. 3 points at this stage of the season, yes, it would be very good, but it's not. It would have been fatal. It would have been fatal. Losing that game could have been fatal. It could have set us on a little downward trajectory after being knocked out the Leipzig. But ultimately, we didn't. We drew that game. Then we played Sheffield United on Thursday, just gone. And a pretty good performance as well. I mean, we gave them a goal very early on, and we dominated the game thereafter for the next 70 minutes, and then we kind of slacked off in the end and gave them another goal late on. Two poor pieces of play between our defense and our goalkeeper in different situations, but we were comfortable in that game. Won that game 3-2, pretty much comfortable throughout until the very end. And then we played Leeds. And a game that some people would have said that we're going to lose. A lot of the rivals would have said, yeah, Leeds, they might have too much for Man United, too much pay for the defense, etc., etc. Listen, Scott McTominay, what a bloody performance. Where did that come from? Where did that come from? Wow. I mean, first minute, in the second minute, he's bursting forward. Bruno outside the box lays it off to him, and he absolutely levers it. Bottom corner, keeper had no chance, absolutely flat-footed. And, I mean, that was a great strike. Great start to the game, gave us a lot of confidence. The second goal, I'm not saying it was better, but it was sweet. It was sweet because Martial takes it down and plays it inside. And Martial had a very good game, even though he didn't get the goal. He should have got two, to be fair, but because he didn't get the goal, you might mark him down a bit by his hold-up play and his link play and the way he was just slotting them passes in behind for the runners from midfield or out wide was brilliant. And he slots it in for McTominay. And McTominay kind of just steps over the ball to control it with his right foot, slotted past the keeper, 2-0, 3 minutes in. The fastest anyone has ever scored 2 goals in the Premier League, Scott McTominay. And no, it wasn't game over at 2-0, but I mean, you couldn't ask for a better start. You could not ask for a better start. And that laid the foundation. We were on top. We were all over Leeds like a rash. We were all over them. They could not get a minute. And I know they had a couple of chances. Bamford had one that he skewed wide. Should have at least hit the target, if not score. But that's what Bamford does, to be fair. You know, he does score goals because they create a lot of chances, but he also misses a lot of chances. Then he had a goal ruled out for offside as well, clear offside. So the Leeds were always a threat. So really and truly, it was always going to be a shootout. You go forward, we go forward, and who has the better players? But what was important in this game was the fact that we ran. We ran and we ran and we ran. And that's because Leeds don't stop. From minute 1 to minute 90, Leeds don't stop. So Solskjaer had to pick a team that would run as much as, if not more, than Leeds. And we've got the ability to do it. So whether you think Van der Beek or Pogba is better than McTominay and Fred, McTominay and Fred are still better than Leeds players. So as long as they outrun them, that's all that matters. Because if they outrun them, the quality will shine through. The issue is when you play someone like a Pogba, as good as his quality is, if he doesn't outwork the opposition, if he doesn't outwork Leeds in a way that McTominay and Fred would, then he may come unstuck despite him having much better on-the-ball quality. So I think when I saw the team lineup, for me, I was expected him to go with McTominay and Fred. That was a given for me. It doesn't even, it wasn't a surprise at all. I mean, for me, it was necessary. It was absolutely necessary to go with that lineup. I think the Dan James one was one that shocked everyone. Nobody was expecting Dan James to start that game. He hasn't played. When's the last time Dan James even played? I don't even remember. I don't remember Dan James' last performance. You know what? I'm going to quickly search that. Dan James. Bear with me 1 second, because he came out from the cold. That was just his 4th match in the Premier League this season. I know he started against Newcastle after an international break. Did he start against Chelsea? Yes, okay. Chelsea was his last start, which was on the 24th of October. He wasn't in the squad for, 3 out of the next 8 Premier League games? 7 Premier League games, he wasn't in the squad. And he comes back and he starts this game. Like, that is crazy. That's crazy. Nobody was expecting it. Nobody was expecting Dan James to start this game. But you know what? It was a good decision. It was a good decision. One that I understood already, and I tweeted, I said, Dan James, masterclass incoming. Or I think I said something along those lines of Dan James going to put in a performance that kind of Bielsa kind of wants in his team. This is why Bielsa didn't want to sign him, kind of thing. He's gonna show Bielsa what he's missing. That's what I said, and he did. I mean, I know he hasn't got the quality of the top end of the Premier League players, but his running, front and back, like Leeds couldn't live with it. They couldn't. He was always getting back and trying to help Wan-Bissaka, and he was always an option out wide. And by having someone like Dan James, forget the quality of or the lack of quality of Dan James, by having a Dan James there, he's a threat. He's a threat in behind. So the opposition defense have to consider him. They can't just leave him alone because his quality and decision making is not there. Because you do that enough, he will produce something. So by having such a threat, maybe sometimes it allows space for other people. Calvin Phillips man marked, and they were doing a lot of one-to-one marking throughout that game. Calvin Phillips man marked Bruno Fernandes. But all it took is Bruno Fernandes got an inch of space, lay it off quickly. But by him man marking Bruno Fernandes is moving around the pitch and dragging him out of position, leaving a big gap in the midfield for other people to take the reins. And Fred and McTominay did that brilliantly. So it's not always about what you do on the ball. It's about what you do off the ball. And I think by playing Fred McTominay and Dan James, Solskjaer knew that it's a lot about what you do off the ball. And then he has Rashford, Martial, and Bruno Fernandes to bring the quality on the ball. But even on the ball, Fred and McTominay, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, then we got the third goal, Bruno Fernandes, after a good run by Fred, slots in Martial. Good tackle by, I don't know who the player was. I'm not going to act like it was, who I know it was. Came out to Bruno Fernandes, first time finish. I mean, this guy's world class. This guy's world class. It's undeniable. He cannot be stopped. Every time people think, yeah, we got him. bit of bad run of form or bad performance, misplaced passes, now he's going to fall off. He just comes back stronger and stronger. He is, like Thanos, inevitable. He's absolutely inevitable. Bruno Fernandes is a given. He's always going to put in these performances. Rashford had a decent game. Martial, as I said, he missed a few chances, but he created a lot. I think he got 2 assists, won the penalty. He was involved in Bruno's goal. So he was involved in 4 of the goals, of the 6 goals that we scored. The Dan James goal that, Victor Lindelof scored before half time. The Dan James goal to make it 5-1. McTominay again, brilliant work down the left-hand side, or the left half space in the center. Comes inside and pings drills the ball, should I say, into the path of Dan James. 1 touch away from, I think it was Ayling. Absolutely left him for dead. And I'm thinking, it's going to be a left-footed finish. Has he got that? I was thinking he's going to go across the keeper. He went straight through the keeper's legs, 5-1. A goal that Dan James definitely deserved for that performance. And a deserved win. A completely deserved win. I heard some people talking, it could have been 6-6. Yeah, if we missed all our chances, it could have been 6-6. We missed about 3 or 4 clear-cut chances despite us scoring 6. Martial should have had 2. Cavani should have had 1. I think Dan James had another chance as well. We could have had 10 goals easily. Leeds could have had 4 5. Yeah, I get that. But if we both were as clinical as each other on the day, we still would have won the game. Completely deserved. I don't know what Leeds thought they were going to do. Like, Bielsa, obviously, I know he has his tactic. This is what he does, his philosophy merchant. He's going to stick to it, whatever. Whether you're winning or you're losing, better opposition, weaker opposition, this is what he's going to do. And Solskjaer said, okay, bring it. Come. Well, I don't mind. My players are better than yours. You're going to leave space in behind. My players are going to kill you. And we absolutely killed them. But let's talk about a bit more than just the game. Because the title of the video is Solskjaer up for the challenge. And when I say the challenge, I'm talking about the title challenge. Erhan says the league is very volatile. Us, for example, went from top to 5th in 2 game weeks. And you're right. 1 week you're in a title challenge. Next week you're fighting for 4th. That is how volatile the league is. And let's be honest, the only constant is Liverpool. With all the madness going on, Liverpool have never taken their eyes off, and they've never created a big distance between them and top. With all them losing 7-2 and all the injuries, they've never taken been far behind that first place. And now it looks like they're coming to a bit of form. That, for me, that gut-wrenching last-minute winner against Spurs, that was sick, man. I'm not even a Spurs fan. Obviously, I hate Liverpool. That was sick. I was thinking they're going to drop some points, but they came through with it, and they got the big win in a big game in a big moment. And then they go and beat Crystal Palace 7-0. And look, if you look at their fixtures over this Christmas period, they've got West Brom, they've got Newcastle, and then Southampton. I'm going to be honest, I'm expecting 9 points. It could be 7. Southampton are a good side. You can't write them off. But I'm expecting 9 points, which means that anyone who is going to keep up with them at this stage of the season has to also get 9 points. Let's be honest. You can't drop any further than that. You have to be on. Like, if we don't pick up the exact same points or more than Liverpool in this period, then forget any title talk. Go into 2021 and you're racing for top 4. Forget any title talk. 100%. We're playing Liverpool on the 17th of January. We want to go into that game in the same position, i.e., 5 points with a game in hand, or two points behind, depending on when we play our game in hand, with a chance of actually going top. Because if we go into the game 2 points behind and we lose the game, you're 5. It's not the end of the world. But if you've dropped any points over the course of the Christmas period compared to Liverpool, and you go into that game, let's say all games played, 4 points behind, 5 points behind, you lose that game, you're 8 points behind, you're not catching Liverpool. Done, finished. You're not catching Liverpool. You want to go within touch and distance. That means if you lose the game, it's still not a fatal blow. I'm not getting carried away about title talk. That Liverpool game, the moment we get to that Liverpool game, I can say whether or not we're going to be in a title race, because I need to see how much points we're going to pick up. I know we're in December, but the season is actually further behind than we actually think. This time, usually we're around 18 games. 18 games played. We've actually only played 13, so we're about five games behind, which is 15 points. It's still a lot of games. So it's, for me, still a bit too early to say Man United can challenge Liverpool. Looking at our next few fixtures at the bottom of the screen, so we have got Everton next, which is in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, away from home, and I'm going to do a little bit of a team, my preferred team for that game later on the stream. Then we have Leicester away. Leicester, that's not going to be an easy game at all. Leicester are going to sit back and try and hit us on the break, which is what we generally like to do. But our away form is very good. Our away form is very good. So if we can keep that away form for that Leicester game and then the Wolves game, I would love 6 points. I think we need 6. Oh, is Wolves? I said Wolves at home, but something tells me Wolves is away. Bear with me 1 second. Oh no, Wolves is at home. Okay, Wolves at home. I thought Wolves were away from home. Yeah, so the Leicester game and the Wolves game is hard. I want 6. I want 6 points. But realistically, oh, my camera's just gone fuzzy. Realistically, I'll take 4. 4 is not bad. If we want to win the title, we need to win those games. But realistically, we're going for top 4. 4 points ain't bad. I have to be realistic. I can't look at the season now and think, oh, why do we not win those games? Why are we not top of the table? I have to be consistent. This team for me is not good enough to win the title. For me then to judge them on the basis of them not winning the title is unfair. We're not even in that position. We're not even halfway through yet. We've started the season well. That's all we can say. We have started the season well. We're in a position where we can mount a challenge. Not that we are challenging, but we're in a position where we can mount a challenge. Are we going to make the most of that position to mount a challenge? Does that even come before winning a title? So there's a lot to consider there. Then we got Villa at home. That for me, that should be a win we're aiming for. And then Watford at home in the FA Cup. That's all before the Liverpool game. So a couple of those, obviously, we're going to see a lot of rotation because of how close these fixtures are piled together. But the Everton game and the Watford game, definitely you want to see big rotation in those cup games. And then the Premier League games, of course, you want to see your strongest team with a few minor tweaks here and there. Ian says, I reckon we could do the double this season. By double, I don't know who you support. Are you a Man United fan? I don't think Liverpool. I think I'm a Man United fan. Double in what? What cups? What Europa League, FA Cup, League Cup, 2 of those? Or you're talking Premier League and a cup? That's big. I mean, honestly, a good season for Man United is top 4 because we haven't finished top 4 twice in a row since Fergie. I would say a very good season is top 4 in a trophy. Solskjaer, I think he really wants a trophy. That's why this Everton game is important. We really want a trophy. And I think, because let me just double check who's left in the competition. And I'm going to be really honest when I say this. Let me just check who's in the competition before I say this. But you know, I could say it before. Liverpool's out, aren't they? We're the best team in the competition. We are the best team in the competition right now. So you've got Brentford versus Newcastle, Arsenal versus Man City, Stoke versus Spurs, Everton versus Man United. Right now, we are the best team in the competition. We're better than Everton. Right now, we're better than Man City. Don't even have to speak about Arsenal. We're better than, we're on form. We're more on better form than Spurs right now. Spurs lost the last 2 games. But it's all about doing it in the moments. And Mourinho is known for winning trophies. He can get that team to play in 90 minutes, whether they can do it over a course of a season in the style that he wants to play. That's something that I think is going to be discussed on the Football Dugout later. But and Man City have to be respected. I mean, they've pretty much owned this Carabao Cup in recent years. So that has to be respected. But right now on form, we are the best team in the competition. We have, let me just double check. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 wins from our last 7 Premier League games. Just the 1 draw against Man City. So since that Arsenal loss, we've won 6 out of our next 7 games. I believe we can win the cup. I believe we can win the League Cup. Ian says if we win the League Cup, it will boost our title race, and we will believe. If we are in the race at that time, a lot can happen. A lot can happen. But what we do have a benefit with, if we get into the position of a title race, is the fact that we're in the Europa League. Anyone in a title race that's playing Champions League football has to play their best team in both competitions. You can't forego one for the other. It'll be criminal to do that. If you're in the Europa League and you're in a title race, yeah, you can just go for the Premier League, and you rest up in the Europa League. Because Europa League, of course, you want to win it as a trophy, but the real aim of it is to win it to get into the Champions League. If you're in a title race, you're pretty much secure in the top 4 place, so you don't have to worry about it. It'll be a nice bonus, but it's not the most important thing. But it's a long way to go. It's a long way to go. We're third through the season. Only a third through the season. Comment here from Hala Madrid. Neeks, did you see Duncan Castle's tweet that I tagged you in? I swear this guy has an agenda. I can't wait until Mourinho is at West Ham next season. I mean, you've got an agenda against Mourinho as a Real Madrid fan. His tweet is, Man United dominant in 6-2 defeat of Leeds, almost repairing the goal difference damage of this season's heaviest Old Trafford loss. Impressive that Solskjaer's side have reached the heights of third, having controlled just one of 13 Premier League fixtures from start to finish. The man's got a massive agenda, 100%. He's a Mourinho fanboy. He doesn't, and because of that, he doesn't rate Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he's always trying to find ways to put him down and compare. And never compare to Mourinho, but when he does get the opportunity to do that, he would have egg. He's had egg on his face many, many times. He will continue to get egg on his face by doubting this Manchester United team. Erhan says Mourinho loves a League Cup. Watch him play Son and Kane versus Stoke. Who's your league game against after that? I mean, one of them may play. I'll be very, very surprised if he plays both. You got Wolves away. That's a massive, massive game. I wouldn't even play either one. To be fair, that being said, no, because that even though you're not necessarily going to win the title, you need to get back to winning ways in the Premier League. You really do. 2 losses in a row. I know they're both tough games. They're both big sides. Leicester and Liverpool. You have to get back to winning ways ASAP. So I expect him to rest up. Maybe Vinicius might get a little run out. But it's definitely going to be a cup that he wants to win. He's done it with Man United, done it with Chelsea. Spurs need a trophy. The reason why you brought in Mourinho ain't for no long-term project. Is to win a trophy and to win now. So it wouldn't surprise me if he went out for it. But for me, it'll be the wrong. You don't need your strongest team to beat Stoke. I'm not having that. This is not Tony Pulis's peak Stoke. Shout out to Arteta. It's not that. But looking at our game, Man United against Everton. Now I think if I just bring up this screen, I think we need to make some changes because, as I said, that game against Leicester is very, very big. Must-win game. Or, as I said, 4 points. It depends what you want. Premier League, must win. Top 4, must not lose. Then we go in the home game against Wolves, and that has to be a must win. We have to get 4 points out of our next 2 games. 4 points between now and the new year is not a bad return. Then we didn't have to beat the Aston Villa game in the new year. So I will go with David De Gea. Sorry, that's not true. I will go with Dean Henderson in goal. I was very, very upset that he started. Not upset, but I was disappointed that he started Dean Henderson in the league against Sheffield United. And I think people's call for David De Gea to be dropped is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Erhan says Dean Henderson is more suspect than I thought. Definitely not ready to replace De Gea. Listen, I've seen him make some mistakes for Sheffield last season. Not just the Liverpool one. He made another one. He was beating his near post. It was after the lockdown. And I'm like, we see this, but no one's going to mention it because it's Sheffield United. That happens for Man United. It's a different kettle of fish. People are talking about it. he's not ready yet. He's a very, very talented keeper. David De Gea has been very good this season. He made a very good couple saves yesterday, actually. He made a very good one from Rafinha from close range when Wan-Bissaka was lost his bearings at the back post. Respect David De Gea. That's what I'm saying. Respect David De Gea. Dean Henderson's time will come. It ain't yet. But people are trying to force the issue, which in turn puts already more pressure on him. Playing for Man United is pressure. Trying to replace David De Gea for Man United is more pressure. People saying that you should be Man United #1, England #1 is additional pressure. Let the man play in games or at times where maybe it's not as pressurized, not as important. It's not as important. So yeah, I'll go with Dean Henderson, Alex Telles. I don't know the fitness situation of everyone. I suspect he will go with Maguire. I don't know why this one is not showing his face. Head too big for the screen. I think he will go with Maguire. Let me see who was on the bench yesterday because Axel Tuanzebe could come in. Axel could come in. Bailly could come in. But I don't know their fitness situation. So you got everybody on the bench. Everybody was on the bench, so I'm going to go with everybody to start. I think these people do need a run out. You can't just keep them in the wilderness for too long. Ian says Axel will play. Listen, if it's Axel or it's Bailly, I don't really mind. I would like Axel to play as well, to be fair, over Bailly. But you know what? Yeah, if he's fit, I'm going to change that. You're right. Because this is my team. If he's fit, I would go with Axel Tuanzebe. Right back. Brandon Williams available? Did he come off injured? When did Brandon Williams last play? We've had so many games recently. And he played against, it wasn't Sheffield United. Who did he play against? Man City, wasn't it? Was it Man City? I'm losing my mind. It could have been, oh no, it was Leipzig, wasn't it? He came off the bench against Leipzig. If he's available, I would go with Brandon Williams. We've got so much games. I don't know if it's that backline's looking kind of shaky. Everton ain't great though. They're good. Yeah, I'll go Brandon Williams. In this game. Richarlison. Thing is, if Ancelotti plays his strongest team, Brandon Williams will struggle against the likes of Richarlison. That's the thing. So I wouldn't be surprised if he went with Wan-Bissaka, but I would go Brandon Williams. In midfield, I would go. I'll go Van der Beek in the midfield. I think he will come in. I would then go Matic. I'll bring him back for this game. And I will go Pogba in the number 10. Pogba didn't even get off the bench against Leeds, which I don't have a problem with. I will go Pogba in the number 10. I would then go Greenwood. Greenwood. Cavani. I'm making wholesale changes. I'm not going to lie. Game is coming 3 days later. And I actually want to play our strongest team against Leicester and against Wolves. So I'll go Greenwood, Cavani. And you could go Dan James again, to be fair. He's been so long since he's played. I would actually go Dan James again. Now, he could go with Mata. I wouldn't be surprised if he went with Mata in this game. And for some reason, Maguire's head is not here, but I will go with this team. 4-2-3-1, wholesale changes. And for some reason, it's not allowing me to. Must be because Maguire's head is missing, which is very, very annoying. But that's the team I will go with. Don't know what you lot think. Pogba and Van der Beek can switch. Either one can be in that position. I don't have a problem with that. But that's the team I will go with. It allows the likes of Rashford, Bruno to be rested, importantly. Fred is going to be so important. McTominay is going to be important. I mean, some of these players may play against Leicester, may play against Wolves. You just need to use the squad. You need to use your squad properly to make sure that everyone is firing at their best. And if someone gets injured, Luke Shaw. No, sorry. McTominay came off injured, didn't he? So yeah, he might not even be available for Leicester or Wolves or anytime this side of this side of 2020. So yeah, Matic, Van der Beek, I'll go with that. Ian says, look at our second team and say we can't do the double. The problem is Liverpool. Let's be honest. The problem is Liverpool. Liverpool are a great team. Let's not get it twisted. This is a great team. They've had so many injury issues, and they're still top of the league. They've got the mentality, the know-it-all. They've been there, they've done it, and they've got a great manager. I'm not wishing injuries on anyone, but they would need Salah to be out for long term, really, for me to think, all right, we've got even more of a chance. A double is not easy. Winning a league alone is not easy. As great as Liverpool's side is, they haven't won a double. They won the Champions League one year, they won the Premier League the next year, and those little Mickey Mouse Super Cups and all that kind of stuff. But they haven't done a double. So I'm not going to say we can do a double. I don't agree. I think it's way too early, way too soon, and much more expectation than this team has proved so far. We got to 3 semi-finals last year, very good. Didn't get to 1 final. We have 3 chances, one after the other, and we didn't improve on from the League Cup to the FA Cup to the Community to the Europa League. We did not capitalize. So get to a final. Let's get to a final first, and then we can talk about winning doubles and trebles and that kind of stuff. I think the League Cup is definitely a possibility. This team is good enough to beat Everton. I'm convinced of that. And you've then got the quality on the bench if you need it. You've got Bruno, you've got Rashford, you've got Martial. So that's a team I will go with. Hopefully we can get. If you said we can only win 1 game this week, I'm choosing Leicester over Everton. Bye Carabao Cup. But I think we can do both. I think we can beat Everton in the cup, and I think we can get a good result against Leicester. Leicester, I don't say they blow hot and cold. It's the nature of the quality of the team they are. They're not going to just go on mad runs of winning games, but they can beat big teams like we saw them do against Spurs. But like we did when we went there last day of the season, we can also get the better of them. Our away form is very good. Our Solskjaer's results against big teams is generally good as well. We are on a good run of form. We've been very good in 2020. Let's be honest. Since Bruno came in, we have been one of the best teams in the league. I think second only to Liverpool. So we need to carry on riding that way, continue that form and that consistency, and put ourselves in a position where in the new year, before we go and play Liverpool, we can say, guys, we could be challenging for the title. Right now, it's too early to say, but that time could come if we can get through this tricky Christmas period. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you all hit the like button right now. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. Share the content, and I'll see you lot soon.